trebuchet is a medieval siege weapon. It was used during the Middle Ages when laying siege to a walled city. The trebuchet allowed the attackers to throw projectiles a long distance either at or over city walls. Here's a diagram of a trebuchet to help you understand how a trebuchet works. First off, we have the frame. The next is the throwing arm. The throwing arm is attached to the frame by an axle which sits at the top of the frame. This is the main pivot point that allows the throwing arm to move. At one end of the throwing arm is the counterweight. At the other end, you have the sling and the projectile. The throwing arm is attached to the frame at an axle. Essentially what you have here is a simple lever, and the frame becomes the fulcrum for the lever. The point of the fulcrum is the axle. The counterweight, weighing many times more than the throwing arm and the projectile combined, will be propelled downwards with gravity, causing the whole throwing arm to pivot on the axle. The counterweight will swing underneath and through the frame, while the throwing arm swings up into the air. This will cause the sling with the projectile to accelerate outwards and around the end of the throwing arm, eventually getting out in front of it. At this point, the sling will release, sending the projectile far up into the air and off into the distance. Here is my trebuchet. It's constructed out of simple 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x8. The overall height of the trebuchet is just under 7 feet. The space between the axle and the top of the base is a little over 5 feet. The throwing arm is 7.5 feet long. The sling is approximately 4 feet long. The counterweight is a little over 100 pounds. Our projectile is a simple dodgeball weighing 2 or 3 pounds. Okay, now it's time to shoot it.
Mission.
Go for it.
5. Oops. Catch the ball.
3,
Catch the ball.
1.
Oh, so close.
On this shot, the trebuchet released too late, causing the ball to fire down towards the ground in front of it.
Three, two, one.
On this shot, the ball was caught in the sling and released off to the side.
Here comes. 3, 2, 1. Nice.
Good catch!
And here you have it, a perfect shot at just over 100 feet.